You ready? My little shop looks completely bombed. Look at this mess. There's quite a mess to clean up, but that is because I've been thrashing hard on this Bronco to try and get it ready to fire up for the first time in a long time, and I think I'm there. So that's what we're going to do in this video today on Fabrication 101. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, what happens here. I'm a little nervous, to be perfectly honest here. I'm not nervous about the engine or anything like that. I'm a little nervous about the transmission in this Bronco. See, I rebuilt this transmission a long time ago, and it's never been run, and it's the only transmission I've ever rebuilt, automatic transmission I've ever rebuilt. It wasn't terribly difficult, but if you've ever messed with automatic transmission, there's some little thrust washers inside of them. That if you get them backwards, and they look really, really similar, if you get them backwards, they can affect how the transmission operates. So hopefully it works just fine. I did get the shifter is hooked up and working. It does actually shift the transmission now. And if you watched, or if you pay attention to my Instagram, you know that I got the electrical system pretty much wired in. I got the charging system all taken care of. The starting system is wired. I do not have the headlights or any of that stuff put together just yet, because I want to try and get this thing running. So I've got this big kill switch here, which if I turn it to, because I only have one battery connected right now, it's this side here. I've got that big battery switch. Now I should have power going to things. Come over here, you can see my new steering wheel from Wild Horses. Awesome piece. New I Did It column also I bought through Wild Horses. And then my new Dakota digital gauge also through Wild Horses. So if I turn the key, you can see it lights up. It is showing voltage, which is a good sign. I do need to calibrate the fuel system still. Well, there's no fuel in it yet. Hopefully once I get the engine going, you'll see temp and oil pressure come up. And I still need to figure out a tach signal, because I'm going to be running it off of the alternator. Before we can try and fire this thing up, I need to put fuel in it. I need to put oil in the engine and transmission fluid. And then I need to prime the fuel system, which could take a little bit because all the fuel lines are empty, and I need to get fuel all the way up through the fuel pump and in over to the injectors before I can try and fire this motor up. So that's going to take a little bit. So first things first, we'll go ahead and put some, we'll fill the oil and transmission fluid, we'll do the water, and then maybe do the fuel last. All right, so here's my oil filter. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-fill it with some oil, and then we'll fill up the motor. Oh, of course I can't get the top cap of the oil cap off. Then we'll go ahead and spin this sucker on, fill up the rest of the motor, then we'll move on to transmission fluid, I think. And I may be doing this wrong. I don't claim to be the most knowledgeable person ever, but I've only ever just put these on hand tight, and I've never really had any issues with getting them off or having them leak. So anyway, all right, so now let's put the rest of the oil in the engine, and then hopefully nothing leaks. So far so good. So I haven't really done anything to this engine. It's not rebuilt. About the only thing I did inside of it was I pulled the oil pan off so that I could flip it around, put a different pickup on the oil pump, and then have it be a rear sump pan so that it would clear my front differential. That's about all I've really done to this motor. I haven't messed with the fuel pump. Haven't done anything like that. That might be in the future. We'll see. I just wanted to try and get it started somewhat how it was originally, and then we'll mess with trying to mod the motor and make a little bit more power out of it. I'm really not really looking for crazy amounts of power with this build. Really more interested in my neighbor over there yelling at his dog. Really more interested in torque, and we'll see what kind of fuel mileage we get out of this little pig. I'm gonna build. I have this really cool fuel cap over here, which I'm gonna build a tube for eventually. But I want to get this thing, see if I can get this thing going. And let's hope with the use of this funnel I can avoid making a massive mess back here. But the way things are going so far, I would say the odds are against me. I'll pull that out. Probably shouldn't have filled this thing completely full. Oh, my leg is cramping up on me. Probably shouldn't pour this whole thing in here, but you know what? What the heck? I like to live dangerously. I believe this fuel cell is like 19 gallons. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but my neighbor is out there yelling at somebody doing some dirt work. I don't know what's going on over there. It sounds like a mess. It's kind of funny to listen to, though. All right. Fuel is in without making a major mess. Still spilled some. Put this down here. Clean up some of our mess here. All right. Fuel is in. Engine oil's in. Coolant water is in. Still really need to do the transmission fluid, but I think I can go ahead and start the engine, or at least get the oil primed without worrying about the transmission. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so before I can try and fire this motor up, I need to get the fuel pump primed. And they do have a little lift pump on the side. It's manual, so you have to pump it. One of the things I'm gonna do is crack these lines that go to the injectors. And hopefully I can pull or get fuel to come up to here without having to go any further back in the system. So we're going to try these first. All right, well, I can't seem to do anything without making a mess. So I got the fuel line from the back, from the tank to the pump is now filled. Hopefully that should make things priming a little easier, since it doesn't have to try and draw the fuel up out of the tank now. I think I'm going to go ahead and try and crank the motor over a little bit, see if we can get fuel up. Probably should shut that off, but let's see what happens. Oh, forgot to turn the power off again. Not getting any start signal. Well. All right, so we got the starter figured out. I just something kind of dumb. I didn't have my neutral safety switch wires connected. So I don't have a neutral safety switch on this thing. I might put one in at some point, but I didn't have the 2 wires that are supposed to go to it connected, so there was no signal going through. So now we should be able to turn the key and get this motor to crank. I want to watch my oil pressure and some other stuff and see if we can get it, what's going on. Oh, look, I'm starting to see fuel bubbling up here. So we'll crank that a little bit more, and then we'll close that one off, and then we'll hit the other ones as they come up. All right, so that one's got some fuel there. So we'll shut it down. We'll probably still end up having to crack them over on the injector side, but we'll keep trying. I don't see anything leaking down here. Wow, it's almost ready to fire. That's kind of scary. That's a good sign. Well, that one's done. My fuel shutoff works, which is a good thing. Let's see, what else do I need to do here before I get carried away? All right, let's try this again. We'll see. Gauge is on. Running pretty rough. Hopefully it's just air in the system still, but wow. Let that starter cool off. Maybe I'll crack my fuel lines on the other side and see if we can get some fuel out over there. Oh, got some fluid over here. Go ahead and close that one off. Oh yeah, there's some more fuel. Oh boy, she's noisy. She is noisy. All right, we'll let it sit for a little bit. Still need to go and get some transmission fluid because I do want to make sure it shifts into gear and everything spins. All right, well, I'm gonna go get a funnel for the transmission fluid, and then we will be right back. All right, so check this out. I figured out a solution for my transmission funnel. Ooh, focus on that, please. I ended up, went and bought a couple different funnels, and neither one of them they were both still too big. I did manage to find this nice little aluminum fitting, which I think came with my transfer case from Advanced Adapters. It fits down in there, so I heated up the end of my funnel, stretched it out, and made it fit in there nice and tight. So hopefully it doesn't leak. So let's see if we can put some transmission fluid in this sucker. So that's 7 quarts in there, plus 2 in the torque converter. So that's 9, and what's weird is I read a lot of different reports that said some were 12.5, some were 13. Right now I'm at, what, 9? Depending on what's in the torque converter. I don't remember how much I put in the torque converter, to be honest. So we're gonna go ahead and fire it up on that. The only way to really check your transmission fluid is with it idling in gear or in park. So we'll get it fired up again, and I do see a little bit of a drip down there. Hopefully it's just from my mess, but let me look at that real quick and see if I can figure out what it is. Looks like I'm all ready to go. So I've got good news and bad news. I guess we'll start with the bad news is my transmission pan has got a hole in it, a little tiny hole where the transmission fluid is leaking out. It's not leaking from any of the seals or any fittings or anything like that. It's actually leaking out from under the pan, across the pan and dripping onto my skid plate and then onto the floor. So that's kind of sucks. But rather than mess with that, and since my transmission is still somewhat suspect, I'm gonna go ahead and try and fire it up again, see if I can put it in gear, see if the rear end spins the way it's supposed to. I don't have gear oil in the front axle yet. I did fill up the rear. Nothing else appears to be leaking, and that I guess is the good news. So we'll go ahead and see if we can't fire it up again. Make sure my battery switch is still in the happy position. Probably should open a door because I'm gonna get smoked out pretty quickly. We'll open this door for a little bit. Let my dogs hear the beauty that is this little monster. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but so that is a good sign. So my transmission is spinning. I do think it's a little low on fluid. I actually put another quart in it. I'm not sure why my transfer cases are so stiff. They look like they don't look like they should be binding up. Maybe they'll just work themselves into adjustment after a while. I don't have any brakes, but I think that's because this is a Hydro Boost system, and my power steering fluid I still need to be bled. I just opened it, it had drained, I added some more, opened it again, and it's full of air bubbles, which is usually a pretty good sign that it's low on fluid. So I need to work on that a little bit. So I got a lot of other things to worry about right now. Like I said, gotta get the brakes working, get the front diff done. But that's a huge step forward, getting that engine running. I'm super psyched on the way that it's running. It's actually running pretty good. It's loud, but once it gets past its initial startup, it actually idles pretty smoothly. There's a lot of rattling going on, but I think it's because there's a lot of loose stuff still on the Bronco, evidenced by a lot of it that just falls on the floor every time I start it up. So anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video off here. If you're liking this video, if you like the content, if you want to know more about this Bronco build, click on one of these other video links up here, and we will see you guys in the next episode of Fabrication 101. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. In the meantime, do me a favor, do yourself a favor, and get out there and build something.